Oh my god. Okay. I just watched Project Hail Mary, and okay, and the only issue I had with it, but the issue I had with it, I think is pacing, and pacing is a delicate balance. You could go too quick or you could go too slow, and sometimes when you go too quick, you won't be able to grasp the information that's been given to you, or if you go too slow, you could be like, okay, we get it, get to the point. And this movie pacing was great where it was at, where it was great when it didn't reach that certain point. Then it became too slow, where you're like, okay, let's go. But everything outside that, the pacing was great, and it's just other than that small little section where the pacing was just dragging a little bit. The pacing was good in every section after that, and there was the other thing I thought I had an issue with, but they kind of fixed it. No, they didn't fix it, but there was a point to it. And once you get to that point, it was like, oh my god, that's so perfect. Because there was this that Rocky, Rocky. No, I did this before I realized I wasn't recording. Um, there was a point where there was something they were talking, and he's like he was happy because he's like, okay, I'm gonna go back home, and he says, I'm gonna go back home. He thought he was gonna die and stuff like that, but Rocky was like, I thought you made peace with that, and he's like, yeah, but we just say that. And for me, I thought that's how they're gonna tie that part up, but they didn't. But at the end, they're like, oh, because that for me, I thought that was odd, because a lot of people would have saw that, like a lot of people would have saw that as like, that's quick, that was odd, that's quick that you were willing to just recall, and then at the end it's like, oh, that's why. And then, okay, so this is gonna talk about the brilliance of the movie and some conspiracy theories out there that happen. So it's just more or less this is more or less of the brilliance of how they tie these things in, and then there's like the conspiracy. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the first thing, how that sun get. Oh, I thought that was cool. The way the sun got, because usually with these end of the world thing, it's the sun's dying, we got nothing, or just something, but it's not. It's in the reality we are aware of. The Earth is out of orbit. It's moving weird. Sun's dying. Simple shit. Simple the shit we know. In this case, it's this anomaly affecting it. I forgot what they call it, but this thing is affecting the sun, and it's killing it, and it's slowly killing the Earth because of it's dimming now because of this beam of light that's hitting it and shit like that, right? I think that was so different than what we're used to of seeing, and I'm pretty sure there's a movie out there that kind of does the same thing where we're like, okay, instead of the things we were aware of, the sun just dimming because it's recall or just whatever the case may be, the Earth and stuff like that. This one was an anomaly, and I forgot what it's called. It's called something, and this is what's causing it. So it's like space, and what we don't know, we're aware of space. So I thought that was so amazing. That's cool. That's different, and we got it. Haven't discovered about space that won't be mean from fitness and creating this one. Okay, so I think that's cool. That was very cool. That's very different. Also, one thing I wanted to recall was he gets out of a coma. 2 people die, but he's still alive, and he doesn't know exactly what's going on. You're confused why he's like acting like this and why he's uncertain it's just a weird sequence. Or like, I guess because if you watch enough of these things, you're trying to know that these people are at some point they come to the realization of, okay, this is what's happening, stuff like that. This one just seems like he is totally out of recall, and for me, it didn't make sense until the end, where it's like, oh, recall. But also, I want to just figure out a way how that goes. I want to know is it as that simple when we go out of if we ever do have that technology, which I believe we do, but that's like, shit that we are unaware of, because it's like fucking the powers that be that we can't see, shit like that. Whoa. If we did have it where we're aware and we actually could use it, how does that happen? Is it as simple as when we wake up we're slowly getting back those memories and stuff like that, or does it beam into our heads, or whatever the case may be? And I think that's something I want to think about. Also, the ignorance. I think it's so important for people who are unaware of things and who may answer shit simply or in a different perspective, because we're just ignorant of what, in this case, Grace, the main scientist, is aware of, which is whatever science is behind everything that makes life, the earth and shit like that. And the ignorance of that how he hacked some guy who obviously didn't know he's a security guard, I believe. And I don't know, because it was hard of hearing. I didn't know what exactly he said, but I think it was something like, what would they, something, and it was like I think it was a simple response that it gave Grace the eureka moment. And I guess the idea would be that I think more or less of everybody has an eureka moment. It doesn't, sometimes movies don't portray so well, and obviously in the movies you could have that eureka moment in the while you watch the movie, and but if the character's having that eureka moment, it's hard to understand how this person got this shit out of thin air. And I think if you don't build it up to that, if you build up to it where the person who's watching the movie could have that eureka moment, it's themselves even more powerful. But sometimes you're having the scientist Grace have that eureka moment, and it's like so out of nowhere. And I think it's, once you take it as that, then you're like, okay, you understand, you forgive it, and you'll be like, okay. I don't think that there was no issue with it. I'm just saying that's one of those things where you give the eureka moment and you're like, okay, this is just more of an expression of that. But I also think English is so important to be in certain situations, just because you have somebody who's aware of the thing better than you, and your ignorance could just connect the dot, and then everything starts to connect for the scientist, and you'd be like, oh shit, how come I didn't think of that? So simple. It's because you're so on it that you can't see it, or because you're so in the dogma of the rules and recall, that you're not willing to see beyond that. And somebody who is ignorant of it will see it, and they're like, oh, like, no shit. So that's one part I looked at. I'm like, okay, cool. Okay, so I think this is one of the conspiracy theories I want to talk about, because it kind of reminded me of it when I saw it. there's okay, I forgot. It was either NASA or Navy satellite that faces the sun and the planets. The first one would be the planet. I don't know if it was Mercury or Venus, but you just see the satellite. I forgot what the satellite name was, but it was either NASA's or Navy's, and I think it starts with an S, satire, or some shit like that. It's facing. This is like real. This is real shit. It's conspiracy of how you see what would have revealed itself. It's on YouTube. You could look for it. I forgot what it would. You could either go NASA or Navy find Star Trek ship. So basically, you just say it's Venus, because Venus is talked about here. Just say it's Venus. And also Venus is a little weird, because if you looked into Venus, they also say there's an alien race right there who don't want nobody on that place, and they'll tell them, well, fuck off. But we had a satellite pointing at Venus, and you just see the planet, and then all of a sudden the solar flare hits it, and as soon as it hits it, it engulfs Venus, but it also reveals there was this. It looks like Star Trek's Enterprise spaceship, and it's all saying you see it being like that there's like this, like the solar flare went around it, and so you could see the ship, but it didn't engulf it like it engulfed, like it would, like if there was nothing there, you wouldn't see it, but since it looked like the Star Trek Enterprise, you see the figure of it, and the solar flare just going over it. So that's one of those cool things. When I was watching, it reminded me of that, and it also reminded me of same thing. I'm not sure if it's NASA or Navy, but the sun. You can't really see that there. All you can see is like the sun. It looked like there's 2 videos of it. You can find on YouTube. I'm pretty sure you can find it on YouTube. Where it looks like there's something right there above the sun, and something sucking the sun, whatever, some flame, whatever, or flares or whatever, sucking it into something. It could be a ship, but it looked like there's something sucking into it, because it was like there's a stoppage right there. But it looks like it's being sucked in that stoppage. So it could be a spaceship, or that's what the idea. That's a conspiracy. It is the spaceship sucking up the sun's energy or whatever that shit is. Okay. There's another thing that was really cool. When they first meet, they're tapping on the on this glass wall, this creature made, alien made, and they're tapping it, and I think Grace even did this thing where he did the close encounter, and and for a minute when I was watching that, I was like, oh my god, they're doing the recall, like that's how this thing's gonna this is how that thing is going to communicate with Grace. But it was like, no, I'm pointing at the box behind you that gives you something to let you know about whatever, and I thought that was so brilliant there. It's like it gave you this idea that that's how they were gonna communicate and stuff like that, but instead it was, oh no, I don't know what the fuck you're doing, but I'm pointing over there. So that was cool. It homage to the Close Encounter Third Kind when they did. I think the problem too I had, but I don't think I think it probably was the problem with the dragging. It became too whimsical, and I don't think it's not. don't think it's a issue. I don't think it's too much of an issue, but it was kind of like there's points where like, okay, it's whimsical. I'm not sure if it's the right word, whimsical, but it was a lot of like, weak call. I'm like, I didn't mind it, but it was sometimes it was like, okay, well, we're doing it, but that might be an issue, but it wasn't that bad. I really. The real issue with the dragon, at certain points of the movie there was a dragon, but really honestly just those little gripes. But honestly, the movie is great. It could be fantastic, just not nothing. If it just didn't drag them, it could have been like a fucking fantastic movie, like it's just a great movie. It's just a great movie. Other than that, there's small dragging parts. It's a great movie. So I don't want to. I kind of don't even want to mention these things because I don't want to say and make it seem like that's a huge issue. It's an issue, but not enough to be like really calm. I think this is also good implication. I'm not gonna say it, but a good use of character armor. I watched what was that movie? Disclosure Day. It had character armor, and this had character armor. And in this case, in Closure Day, it was abusing it so much that there was no recall. In this case, the way the movie was, if these characters died, I think it would be more harmful to the movie. And in this one, it was like, you had an idea that, oh no, they're gonna die, he's gonna die, and it's like, nope, character armor, and he's like, great. And then you have the dialogue, oh crap, Rocky's gonna die. You first thought Grace was gonna die, then you thought Rocky was gonna die, and they both survived. And like, great. You're happy, and because the way the movie is, it's perfect for that. If they died, I don't think it would ruin the movie, but it wouldn't fit the movie. And in these cases, when character armor was so necessary, when character armor could have been a very negative. We call this. It's perfect for this. Character armor is perfect for this kind of movie. Perfect for how this movie was written and stuff like that. Even at the end, where you're like, "Oh my God, he's gonna." Nope, character armor, and it was like, it's perfect. It's perfect. It's perfect how it was. We call. Okay, and I guess the part where I'm gonna say now, where this is even. How they connect these things is so fucking brilliant. It's so good, and I just think this movie is so great, and the way it tied those knots was so awesome. And the parts where it didn't make sense, now as you went on the movie, you're like, oh my God, it's perfect. It's perfect. This person is fucking brilliant. Whoever wrote this is fucking brilliant. You know what I'm saying? I watched Disclosure Day and it was fucking ass. I liked the movie because I'm an alien guy, but it was fucking ass. And when you see this movie and you understand this is what you do. This is smart. This is brilliant. This is a lot of fucking things. And you wonder the laziness of a big obviously I think this movie was made by Amazon, so that's a big company. But the problem with companies too, these bigger companies, is they have a lot of hands in the pot. So this guy could have made on the Disclosure Day, he could have made a brilliant movie, but people's hands were in the pot saying, you need to change. Where maybe Amazon's like, hey, fuck it, do your best, and we're gonna rock with it. And they fucking whoever wrote this is fucking amazing. And weird, because there's, as I mentioned, there was a part where he's like freaking out, and it just, for me, it didn't like. It's like, okay, because everything is different than what you usually expected, like the whole anomaly. Then in this case where he was freaking out with the and then the tapping and stuff that they're doing by vibrations. It's just there's a lot of different things. So sometimes you're accepting those things for what it is. So in the case where it was like when he wakes up, stop freaking out, like where am I? Like at some point you remember at some point it's gonna come to why you were here, and it never did until the very end why he was here, which was he was a coward, and he didn't want. And that's another perfect thing. You always have the brave person going up there willing to sacrifice themselves for the greater good. This guy's like, no. Grace is like, no, I'm a coward and I want to be that, and you're not going to force me to be more than that. But they forced him to be more than that. They sedated him before he even went into the ship. He didn't even. So when they sedate him, he's on the ground facing down, getting pinned by these soldiers or security guards, and that's it. So he doesn't know everything that led up to him being tossed in space, and then so you understand the confusion and all that stuff when he gets brought back to life, brought back from his coma, whatever you want to coma or the deep sleep or whatever. So there was like, oh, that's a great understanding. And there's a part where he's like, I guess it was like this part where he's like, they're talking about Rocky. Rocky has a girlfriend and stuff like that, and he's like, okay, I'm willing to sacrifice myself to let you go to your planet or whatever the case may be, because he always knew this was going to be a suicide mission. Which I don't think he knew, but not to the degree of how he knew that was gonna be a suicide mission. It's just more or less of he didn't know involuntarily agreed to it because they forced him into it. He just didn't know that part. But so it explains when he said, instead of saying brave, he said dumb. So I was like, these little things is like something what a coward would say, instead of saying like somebody who says, yeah, I did it because I'm brave and I understand the risk I'm taking or whatever. It's like, I did it because I'm dumb, because I'm a coward. Because if I had all my senses, I wouldn't do it. And in this case, he was a coward. And so when he says, okay, I'm gonna recall, and he walks away, Rocky obviously has something to lose, but he was willing to risk it all for Grace, and Grace was like, he turns back crying. He's like, oh my, he's so happy, and Rocky confused. He was like, I thought you were willing to die. But he's like, we all just say that just to say that, but and so it was like, that was weird. That then you realize, oh, even though he didn't know it at the time, but there's a reason why he was so willing to let Rocky sacrifice himself than himself sacrifice for Rocky, because one, he was a coward, and two, he didn't have nothing to die for, and that's the other thing when they talked about do you people have something to die for? The guy said he had, I think that the Chinese Asian guy said he had something to die for, and that's why he was willing to do what he was willing to do, and Grace never did, and it's like, Rocky did, and it's like, Jesus Christ, it's like everything was just connecting so fucking well. It is just like fucking brilliant. It's just so fucking brilliant, because it's like, oh my god, it's like you allow. I can't. I like Disclosure Day, but it was a bunch of bullshit. In this movie, holy shit, Hail Mary is the way they connect shit. It's just great. And maybe there's some negative parts. Maybe I'm so enamored by the movie and how they went about it. It felt weak. I honestly, the only thing I would say is the weak dragon part. But it's like, so like things like was in there. No, but it's like, well, we get it. You're just trying to create this connection with the Rocky and Weeka, so it's more deeper and whatever and shit like that. So it was like that, and And there was a point where so it was like then there was a point where he's like, oh, if it was finally revealed to his memory finally came to him, where it was revealed that he didn't go into it willingly, and he basically was a coward and stuff like that. And I think when he's on the ground, he one of the guys like the guy who from the beginning, this kid guy was talking to him, was like, you know what you are. And for a minute, he thought I was like, oh, I'm a coward. He knew what you are, which was you were brave. You just needed somebody to push you. Somebody to force you to realize you're not that. And then at some point, you're thinking, this is it. He's going to go home and everything's going to be sweet. Then it's like, oh, no. This is what it just tight everything to a perfect, oh my god, to a perfect bowl, because now he's like, oh, this is what happened, this is why his ship got fucked, it's because of this. And he's like, oh my god, I go save my buddy. And the chances are the buddy could have been dead. Rocky could have been dead, but it was like he had a chance to go back home and recall and enjoy it. And then and that would have been the coward out, because he understood what happened, because he woke up from his sleep and he's like, oh, he's like, he woke up and it says like contamination. I guess some shit was going weird with the whatever parasite or whatever they called it. And they're like, oh shit. Then he realized this is how Rocky's people died, and because it started to break down the ships, whatever. And so he's like, so he knew that the chances are if he doesn't go and he just keeps going to home, he'll live, but chances are Rocky's gonna die. The coward way would be him going back home, saving his people, and let fate take Rocky away. Either he survives or he dies, but who fucking knows? And he didn't take the coward way out. He decided, I gotta save something I'm willing to die for. And he did. He fucking sent out the goods and says, hey, boom, you can have it. Hey, this is all the shit that we figured out. Boom, boom, boom. But I gotta go save my friend. And that was like the most like, oh. And then it was like, your whole expectation, the movie, it just, there's like this, it's like, I want it. It's like, there's things you want and you don't expect to see, and then you get it and you're like, oh my god, I wanted this because I wanted this to happen, but it didn't. Usually they don't happen like this, and sometimes if they do it stupidly or whatever the case. And it happened where he's on the planet chilling, on Rocky's planet chilling, living, and it's like, so I think this is so well written. This is a good movie. It's the way they tied the knots, the way they did. Bravo. I'm just like, there's a lot of things they did with it. That the person who written it just made things like everything made fucking sense. Everything was tied in a low bow. It was just you have to praise a movie like this for what it is. I think more or less of I hope you don't watch. I hope if somebody even does look at this and listens to it, I hope you watch the movie and enjoy it and not see what I see. You should have those eureka moments, which you will get in this movie where you're like, oh, that's why he acted like that. Oh, that's you understand Rocky's like weirdness when he's like, I thought you were willing to die for his. You appreciate those if you go in there blind. You will have your Eureka moments. You will, if I don't know, it's just brilliant. I don't fuck the drag. You know what? Fuck yeah. I mentioned the dragon part. Fuck it. This movie could be perfect. No, it's not perfect, but God, it's fantastic. It's just the way it's written, the way this guy who written it, or girl, I don't know who the fuck. I gotta know who written it. The fuck? Oh my God, dude! What? Cancel. What are we doing here? Screenplay Drew Goddard. Yeah, this guy. If it's him, I don't want to credit somebody wrong, but if he's the one who, it says screenwriter. If he's the one who did it, bravo, fucking bravo, brilliant. Everything tied in a fucking knot. It's just brilliant. I just love it. It's just like it's. I don't know. You just don't. You watch when you watch something that doesn't make no sense, where everything makes sense here. It's you praise it. You praise it. You let it know what it is, and it's great, fantastic. Fantastic fucking movie. I think that's it, because it's like fuck. Other than those dragging moments, Jesus, this movie is fucking brilliant. The way it tied every bow, the way it made you question things that you're like, then it's like, oh, that's a perfect, reasonable response for a person like this. It's just fucking smart. It's just fucking smart, and the person who in this is fucking brilliant. I just sometimes you wish you could do something this great. You hope for something this brilliant, and this guy did that. Bravo, fucking bravo. It's a great fucking movie, and yeah, I love it. Gave you some conspiracies that could, recall, that'd be like whatever, but I think there's a lot of things that they did. It's just, oh my God, it's so fucking brilliant. Okay, that's it. I don't need to suck this guy off entirely, but it's fucking brilliant. Hail Mary, watch the fucking shit.